Hello, Speed Gaming. Welcome to another AM12 Weekly. This time on the alternative settings, which basically just means that every item is logical. We also have random start and DNA on Metroids and bosses. This time we have both Gala and Words again on the restream. Both are regulars here. And our random start seemed to have dropped us in Golden Temple. So first things that both runners will probably do now is just check all the items in here. So currently nothing really that exciting going on. Both players opting to save here so they can warp out here if bomb chamber tends to be useless. Which it is, and we see both players swapping out. Yala attempting to zip across here and succeeding, saving a few seconds of a word who wall jumped here up manually. And we see our first progressive jump. That is... I'm trying to think of the logical implications of this as and where the seed wants us to go. But my guess right now would be Breeding Grounds 2. That is what high jump usually tends to point to. Golden Temple also doesn't seem to have that many more useful things. But I assume that you will still see both players checking the exterior alpha here. Yeah, so far it's been only missiles and missile drops. A decent amount of damage reduction. Also, I really hope that I just wasn't muted for the entire time because I only now realized that. Oops. Good preparation from my side. Gala now doing... Both now doing Reading Rounds 3, probably what they... Oh, and Screw Attack. I would assume that that is what the high jump was pointing to. Since we need high jump to access Breeding Grounds here. A bit of a shame that Worlds didn't find Gravity, because Gravity is very useful here in... Or like any kind of damage reduction is useful early game. Currently struggling with that also a little. Ah, almost got it unlocked. Almost. Nothing useful besides that scuba attack here, though. Not even a useful hint. Seem. Oh, right, we didn't have bombs earlier, so now Gala is cleaning up Building Guns 1 and getting this into here probably as well. But since this is no scuba attack for birds, it will mean that it will very likely detract him further from getting gravity. Let's see what this hint says. Hideout Omega Nest. And 1 DNA already. Yeah, that gravity miss could bite him later really hard. Oh, and Spazer, ooh. I'm pretty sure that Gala is comfortable fighting the Queen with that equipment. So theoretically, Gala could now go on a DNA hunt. They only really need Ice Beam and Supers now. Not Supers. Ice Beam and... Yeah, no, that's it. Only Ice Beam to finish, theoretically. So apparently I missed the power bomb launcher. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so we got quite a lot of the game open now. I think the only thing that can hold us back logically now is Supers and Space Jump. Oh, and I guess Springboard, depending on what comes into logic. Also, Gala is not... Ah, never mind, he was. Saw that it was just a super tank and decided not to bother with it. Words is trying to snipe that Metroid from the distance, and I don't think it quite worked. And there's his Baser. So, what hints do we still have left? We have the main case hint coming in a second, and then it's only Breeding Grounds 3, Tower, Area 5, and Area 6. Area 6 will probably be done last, considering that the Hideout Omega is also a DNA. That is just E. The main case hint is coming up in a second. And then I assume they go to... Oh, they don't have speed boosters, so they can't even get into Breeding Grounds 3. Yeah, we've gotten that one. Oh, and there's the space jump. Apparently, Gala did not clean out Breeding Area 1. So he's missing that. A bit bold of Words to not clean up the top item there. Since Space Jump does unlock that. Dual Alphas was completely useless. Laser beam chamber also didn't seem to have anything useful either. Although I guess the super missile tank can help later down the line if they even find super missile launcher. There's one other DNA. I'm surprised that Worlds doesn't now check speed booster chamber, considering how often it seems to be important. And how near he basically is to that. Does decide to clean up the rest here though, or at least check Teresa. Only check Teresa. Would have gone for the right side as well, because, like, you're already there, you might as well. Darth seemed to have been a complete time waster for Gala. Since Gala walked to start now, maybe he will find the space from now? Does seem like it. Yeah. No. Ah, he's using the... Okay. He's using Wave Beam. Yeah, now with the Space Gem, he's just immediately checking these two items. Since these are now finally logically accessible. And one more DNA. That was just a missile. So I assume Gala will be going either to Tower or to Alpha Squad right now? Or also check out Area 3. He decides to do Alpha Squad. Gets the free hand on the way. And also 5 free checks. Oh, those are busted. Breeding Grounds 3 being required means that... Oh, and Bubble Lair Northwest. But Breeding Grounds 3 being required is that either they need a required supers or required speed booster. So we need at least 2 items, Ice Beam and that other item to access Breeding Grounds. There's Spider Ball. DNA. And health. I also haven't kept track of the DNA, so I'm actually not sure on what exactly we're still missing. Gala deciding to check Vanilla Screw, since he has also Screw attack to leave. And it is a super tank. Decides it is not worth it. Meanwhile, Gala is checking out the area, the ice beam hint. And know that ice beam is in tower. And also deciding to go to the hideout hint now? Or are they actually doing the Omegas without supers? And another super tank. Currently curious as to why Gala is going back into area 2. Oh, also for the item hint, yeah. What is Words doing though? Words seems to be going to hideout, but what for? Did the Alpha have DNA? I thought it was only the Omega. Also, yeah, that Icebeam hint for Gala now comes very handy. Oh, there's the super missile launcher. That is. Oh. I don't know what to think of that. I don't think Gala will find that for a while, which means he'll probably. Oh, that brings Words potentially really far ahead. Because Words can now basically go anywhere they want to. They know where the Ice Beam hint is, and they have now also gotten the Gravity Suit. Ice Beam Chamber has DNA, ooh. So it's being required. So yeah, Gala kind of needs that speed booster. Which isn't. It's not that likely as far as I'm aware for that speed booster to be out of logic and inaccessible. But it can happen. Your speed booster would lock out what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items. That's quite a lot. That's what? Almost 6% of the items? So yeah, that brings the spin missile launcher really helps there. Also with all the Metroid fights that now go much quicker. I assume Guts is now also going to get the Alpha Squad hint. No, going to tower. I would have done Alpha Squad by now. You have way more than enough health, and it has a hint and um has a very high chance of having progression. Oh, and there's the speed booster. Ooh. So depending on how this goes, Gala might either get the super launcher really late or not at all. But Gala is now also in his go mode, basically. He knows that item is somewhere and oh, unless unless that item is locked by supers. I could not see what that item was. That is Missile Tank. If that ice beam is locked by supers, then that will still give. Currently checking, I guess, what parts are still considered tower and whatnot. I would have assumed at least. Mm-hmm. Oh, was he? Oh, okay. Yeah, both are currently on equal amount of DNA. Although, Birds definitely has the advantage with killing Metroids. That's just a missile tank, sadly not the icing we were looking for. Oh! Oh, Gala did find the item. Okay, so Gala is basically go mode now. So that super missile launcher, turns out, did not give that much of a head start. No! I hope Bird still goes for the... No, he does not. Goes for the data, because you're already in tower, you might as well, to avoid all the backtracking data. Oh, he was just going for the item. Oh, never mind then. Yeah. So Gala is currently getting his last DNA. I do not remember where they were. They do hope. I would assume that that super missile launcher that Birds has will still give him a bit of an advantage. Yeah, there's the ice beam. Dual Gammas did not have DNA, just an E-tank. Although at this point Gala has way more than necessary health. There's the required DNA that was into that. And now Gala's going to fight Ceres. And I'm not sure on what else Gala's actually missing in terms of DNA. He's missing 2 Omegas at the very least. One in Breeding Grounds 3. And the other 2 I do not know by heart. No, I don't. There was 1 or 2 DNA that Words has gotten that Gala did not, but I do not remember which one. I don't even know if Words knows that ice beam chamber is required. I assume so at least, though. Also interesting of Words to not use those supers. Based on the fact that Words is going here, I assume he knows though. Yeah, I don't know why Gala is... Oh, Gala doesn't have the super missile, so he's probably checking these items just in case that he finds it here. Because super missiles do still save a bit of time. Yeah, there's the other DNA. Yeah, and then there's one last DNA that we don't know the location of. We know 2 in Nest, 1 in Breeding Grounds 3. So now we have to get the Breeding Grounds 3 hint to know the last one. Also, really nice speed boosting there from Gala. We're struggling, or we're not struggling, but having a slightly slower service fight than Gala. But that's to be expected. Practicing service takes a while to get her down really quickly. Ah, almost got the shrines back there. It's really impressive how consistent Gala's gotten with these zips. Saves like what, 30 seconds every time he wants to go to the other side. This was just a super missile tank. Ah. Did not get the speed boost keep. Yeah, at this point I'm pretty sure that Words is just straight up going for the last DNA and hints. Because there's no need to go to anywhere else right now. He has everything he needs. He can comfortably kill Queen with that amount of health. With that, with these items. Plasma doesn't really help much at this point either. Really, the last thing he needs is not needs. That would be nice than last location of the DNA, but we know that that is now locked behind the Breeding Grounds 3 hint. Well, and bosses. Wait, no, I was way in my mind. Like, DNA can be on bosses and Metroids. So, technically... Wait, no, we checked Testa. We checked Genesis. And we checked the Wagner, so yeah, no. At this point, DNA can only be on bosses, on Metroids. Oh, right, Words never checked this one. Yeah, then Words has all of his last DNA known. You can just rush to them and then fight Queen. Yeah, fighting the Hideout Alpha really was such a gamble that paid off. Most people would not venture that far down there. Meanwhile, Words is now killing all the other Metroids probably just to hope to get the super missile launcher somewhere. If Gala would now instantly go to Nest or to Hideout to get his last DNA there. Although Gala's still missing one other one somewhere. Yeah, no, so Gala is definitely far behind now here. Words doesn't have speed booster, but the speed boost is also not that detrimental. Because we don't have that many opportunities for speed boosting anymore. Words, however, does not seem to go straight for the DNA for whatever reason. He seems to actually be going for hints. And I'm a bit unsure why, because he knows what the rest of his DNA is. He knows it's an hideout and not the Omega Nest. He can just go straight to DNA and Queen. Gala might actually catch up now with that, because of that. Because Gala will now be going straight to Nest, get the super launcher, and at that point he will have a faster Queen since he's more comfortable with it. Oh, wait, what? Did I... Apparently I misread some of the hints then. Does Words not have to be left? I thought he needed the northwest, the hideout, and the alpha. Apparently I've been misreading something somewhere. How I probably misread it as some other alpha. Okay, that makes sense then. Come on, one more hit. There we go. And now Words should have definitely went out. There's absolutely no reason for him to stay further in here. Okay, never mind. I have been misreading a DNA hint. So both the alpha and the gamma had DNA. So now he's missing one. And both northwest and hideout. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. Words has done hideout already. I am dumb. I completely forgot. Right, because he got there earlier, got the super launcher, and then yeah, okay. Yeah, this might be really close. Also, it's really fast. Yeah, trying to keep track of two racers definitely doesn't help my brain. Yeah. Oh. Gala didn't even get the super missile launcher because he had no reason to kill the alpha. So yeah, this is actually really close. I would honestly think that Words is still slightly ahead here, precisely because he has a super missile launcher. If Gala is now deciding to kill the alpha, he might be ahead, because then he has a far better time with Queen. If he decides to ignore it, and he is opting to ignore it, yes. Oh yeah, no then. Ooh. Yeah, I think Words will win this one. He's now ahead of Gala in terms of going to the labs. And will have a way faster Queen and labs because of supers. Yeah, and the sparks, the time saved from the spark here will not save all the time from the supers later. Words just needs to be really comfortable in his labs and Queen, and then he definitely can win this. But it's gonna be really close. No! Gala's too nervous. Yeah. Use supers words. You get them refilled. There we go. Precisely. It's gonna be really close. Can Gala do the spark to the queen? No, he forgot to shoot the door. Word says 10 missiles more, so this does technically give Queen more health. Also, Word, please use Super Synth this phase. You have 10, more than enough, you get refills. Yeah. Ah. Gala did his phase first. West is playing a bit too conservatively with his supers. I think he wants to like full shot the last. There we go. Full shot the last phase, but yeah, Words now will run out of missiles, and now he has to basically play bomb fight only. Nice infant bomb jumping. Which takes more time and has more risks. Compared to Words, who can now just dump all his supers in a second. Will get really close though. Use the supers. Ah, he wants to save it. Oh, I see. It's not worth it. Ooh, yeah, no, it seems like Gala got this one. It is really close though. Yeah, because now Gala finished first with killing the queen. And since he has speed booster, he will actually save like, what? If 5 seconds or so. Also going to the ship. Unfortunate for Words. Still a really good race though. Sub hour for both is nice. Oh, and Mr. Spark. And that is GG for Gala. And now Words is gonna finish in a second as well. Now, let's see, can we get them both invited? Is there anything Spring Ball? Oh, I didn't see Spring Ball. Oh, and Plasma. Plasma was in Treadmill Room. Oof, yeah, no. Considering how late Speed Booster was gotten. And now also GG for Words, finishing, what is this, like 40 seconds after? Hello, Gala. How was the race?
Apparently very close. Damn.
Yeah, a 40-second difference. Words is also apparently joining in a second. I still didn't see where Spring was.
Oh, I didn't saw where
Plasma
Super
was
was.
in... Oh, Super Missiles? That was in the Hideout Alpha.
Oh,
Dude,
really?
dude.
GG's to both of you.
GG's.
GG.
So
That was so
close. Words,
close.
if you were a bit more comfortable in your laps on Queen, you totally would have won this.
Yeah, that one. I got caught by like what 2-3 Metroids. That was kind of silly.
Yeah. For
That
what
was
it's
good
worth,
though.
Gala, Words went to Hideout really early. I don't know why.
Because I had the hint. I had the hint for Omega. That was the only Metroid hint I had, and I was in basically go mode at that point in terms
Yeah,
of
but you
like
didn't have
equipment.
supers or speed.
Right.
Did you just
But
want to kill the Omega with
right.
missiles only?
Yeah, I'm comfortable
see.
with missiles Omega as long as I have high jump, and I knew I needed the hint down there, and I was close to Area 2, so I'm just like, let me go through Area 2, get the ice hint, get the Septog hint, and then just keep going to Hideout because then I never have to come back. Otherwise, I'd have to make 2
Gotcha.
trips to Hideout or 2 trips to Depths, which I had to anyway for Bubble Northwest, but it paid off because I got supers and I didn't have to go back to Hideout. So
Yeah, that saved you so much time.
yeah, like I don't know if I could have routed that seed any better. Like I'd actually thought about going to Tower before Complex, but I went to Complex because I forgot that I didn't have missiles or speed to get into Breeding Grounds. But that kind of led me to going back to Area 2 before going to Tower, so I got supers and the ice hint and all that. So
Yeah.
that routing was really lucky.
When Gala did his tower cleanup, he found Speed Booster in Power Plant.
Oh, gotcha. I thought
And
about checking that, but again, like I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
So I was just like, go for hints, go for Metroids, don't waste time on anything else.
Gala still needed the Super Missile Launcher or Speed Booster, since I'm pretty sure he read the hint at that point that Breeding Grounds had an Alpha, had DNA.
Yeah.
And so he missed one of those items.
Right. Yeah, Speed Booster would have been nice. I don't know how much time it actually would have saved me. I mean, yeah, a little bit getting up to, back up to labs after the Omega, and then, like, not having to space jump across the spikes, but, like, the time it would have taken to find that would have been probably not worth it.
Gala also found it still relatively late-ish, to the point where it didn't really save that much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I think, 20 seconds at most?
Yeah.
Maybe 30?
Yeah, which, well, that wouldn't have really made that. Yeah, it wouldn't have made the difference. It would have made it closer because he was what, like 50 seconds ahead
But
when he finished.
Thing that I
40.
found Speed Booster because I was going to go to Industrial Complex after.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought you were trying to find ice in there.
Yeah, when I found speed. Wait, when I found speed, I was I had the gravity, so I was like, okay, I can go to deep
A5
distribution center, and I was like, maybe if something if there is something on service, I can go get the int. And good call.
Yeah, that was a fun seed though.
Yeah, it was also really like fast.
Yeah.
Sub hour is not bad.
Yeah. It's like I think it felt like it slowed down toward the end when I was actually just hunting for Metroids. Trying to think. Felt like something took a long time. Maybe it was Tower that felt like it took longer just because I was looking for ice, but
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. In Tower, you did also the really weird thing where you went to the Area 2 pipe for that one item. Because I
Yeah.
think you remembered you hadn't been there before.
Yeah. I remembered I hadn't been there and I knew Ice Beam was in Tower, so I'm just like, let me drop down, look at these two before I check the Zeta because those could be ice and they would
Yeah.
be faster than the Zeta.
Seed definitely could have been much, much worse. There could have been, what, Ice Beam in the power plant locked behind supers,
Yeah.
technically.
In which case that would have given me the advantage because I already had supers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or there could have been supers locked in, not supers. What's it called? Something other important in like all of the speed booster checks. There was
Yeah.
plasma in lower A5, lower A3,
Lower A3.
in the treadmill room.
Okay. Yeah. So that would have required speed, but yeah.
Mm.
I was able to farm well enough, honestly, with
Yeah,
just
with just Wave and Spacer,
Wave and
you usually
Spacer,
are
yeah.
just good enough.
Yeah. And I was definitely thinking a lot more during that fight of how to manage my ammo to save the supers for the last phase instead of just burning them in the first
Yeah,
phase.
Gala
So,
actually
like,
made a really nice calculator for that.
yeah.
I don't know where it
Yeah.
is, but you would recommend using
Maybe
that.
on the Rando Discord, maybe.
Probably somewhere.
But if you want, I can send you the calculator.
I know that Abyss
Yeah, that'd be
has
cool.
made the web version for it that also includes like spreadsheets for other stuff,
So what-
including Pipe Rando.
So what does it actually calculate? I just remember that
It's-
like final phase needs about 12 supers.
It's well, Queen's health scales with the amount of missiles you
Gotcha.
collect. And so the calculator basically you type in how many missiles you have, how many
Hmm.
whether you have main launchers for both missiles and supers,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
how much missile a tank is giving.
Hmm.
And then from
Yeah.
that it basically calculates each HP for each phase. And what is semi I don't know if it's like the most optimal, but a really it's definitely good enough.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's like super optimal, but it's quite good, I think.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Basically
Okay.
calculates how many missiles you should use for each phase.
Hmm.
It tries to make it so that the second and the third one always use missiles only.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
I
the
find
first
that's
one,
almost always, yeah.
yeah, and then the
Anyway,
first
sorry, go
one and the last one are basically a combination of missiles, supers, and bombs.
Interesting.
It
Okay.
basically does so without the need to refill. So if you know that you can refill, you can speed things up here and there.
Right. Yeah, because what I was kind of trying to do is just like I was at 10 supers
Yeah.
max,
Yeah.
so just use 2, farm when I can, and then keep using those so I don't cap out. But like just keeping as many as possible for the final phase. But yeah, like I think in my like it doesn't seem like it scales that much, or maybe I just always have a similar number of missiles because it
I
seems
think
like
you
it's always
always
either
kind of-
11. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you always kind of go between 90 and 110 missiles.
Yeah, and that seems like just the natural progression of the randomizer with these settings anyway is usually what I end up with.
Yeah, it definitely depends. And depending on how you route it, you can definitely end up at like 70 or even 60.
Mhm.
And then the difference between 60 and 100 is definitely noticeable.
Yeah,
But
but
here
would
was
that
like
be like
what-
1, maybe 2 supers difference? But I don't know. It's
I
just like I don't
actually
think I've ever
know
seen
the
it.
difference.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever
Uh,
seen it be less than 11 supers, and I've never seen it be more than 13.
Basically,
final
for
phase.
every missile tank you collect, you have to hit her 2 times more. Unless I got my math wrong.
For every missile tank, you have to hit her 2 times more with a missile.
With a missile. Unless I
Yeah.
got my math wrong. I can't remember if missiles do 20
And then
or
are supers
10.
are supers worth like 5 or 3 in terms of damage?
Supers are always worth
5.
5 over normal missiles.
Okay. I kind of assumed that, but like I feel like some games treat it differently, so it's hard to remember. I just remember it because the Metroid Prime games use 5 missiles.
Yeah, I know in most games it is 5 missiles. I know that in Dread and Samus Returns. Samus Returns definitely. Dread I can't quite remember. They have special weaknesses where they can give enemies
Yeah.
arbitrarily resistance, where the scaling doesn't match up anymore.
Yeah.
But for
That one was
most
always
Metroid games, it's always 5.
Yeah, that to me is the thing that's most annoying about Dread is just like every enemy takes a different amount of damage from different things, but there are no health bars. So how would you ever know that? Like how
Yep.
would you ever know that Ravenbeak dies more quickly to one thing than another thing without just like months and months of trial and error? Like I feel like yeah, to me that game would have benefited a lot from health bars. So you can actually see what's doing how much damage. Anyway, that's a tangent.
But yeah. Do any of y'all have any last words?
No, not really. Play AM2 or randomizer. It's fun. Join the weekly. It's great.
Oops, did not mean to do caps lock. There's the randomizer Discord in case you're curious. Also, go follow the runners. They do cool stuff. Stream AM2R, stream Dread, stream other games. And that is wrapping it up then, I think. So, until next week.
See you next mission.
See you.